everybody here qualified in a last chance meet. So they're like, sometimes you run a DMR early season, you don't touch it again until nationals. A lot of these guys ran it last week. And we're underway in the men's DMR. First leg there is the 1,200-meter run. Will's okay. We had a little incident up here, but he's doing fine.
Pulled my head off with my own headphone cord, so that's why we get Bluetooth, fam.
But he's
not used to these corded phones, these corded cans.
Doing just fine. The 1,200 leg is interesting because it's almost a mile, but also almost an 800. Like, nobody is really specialized in this.
No, it's an a not often competed distance, and really the only time you ever see anyone running a 1,200 is in a DMR. Now, I think that these men will be looking for something around the 3-minute mark. Would be probably where they're used to running, and we've got MIT out front, which on our start list is supposed to say Ziad Hassan. We are not seeing him necessarily lead this thing off, but we've got MIT followed by Lacrosse and Johns Hopkins, with the entire Thundering Horde giving chase. About 60 dead at 400 meters for the leaders here, as everyone else is still very much in this race, Noah.
That was Opsel from MIT. Who looks to have relinquished the lead and then taken it back. But Wisconsin Lacrosse, that should be Joey Sullivan on your screen now with the hair, slotted back into second, looking super strong. And I believe that's Johns Hopkins. Aiden Tomov should be there leading off that squad. So some super strong runners here to get things going. And we're single file through the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got some guys that are trying to think about making some money moves here over the final 400. We are just over 130 at 600 meters, just 3:02, 3-minute 3:02 pace. The athlete from Johns Hopkins, who appears to be, if I'm looking at this, Aiden Tomov, very, very smooth, hoping to put maybe a little bit of ground between himself and the rest of this field. MIT goes a little bit hard. You see the gas starting to be pushed down as the gaps start to form here. A little bit over 2 minutes at 800, well within the wheelhouse of a lot of these athletes, but still there's daylight.
Opsel continues to stretch this field. Finally, it's starting to eke out a gap over third place, Wisconsin Lacrosse, who leads the best of the rest right now. But yeah, MIT and Johns Hopkins are really looking like the class of the field, but it's super early, but we're going to have a battle here over the last lap.
Absolutely, but as we said, there's a lot that can happen in this race. So this obviously is a very important opportunity for them to extend their lead and make the other teams play catch-up. Johns Hopkins finally smelling the lead for the first time, but also from MIT giving good chase. Johns Hopkins going to hand us off first, MIT in second, with about everybody else coming in third.
We should be seeing Alex Coletti taking that baton for the Johns Hopkins squad. The sprinter from MIT is going to be Christian Preisner. And, they've got a significant gap now over Emory.
But again, we are on our second leg, but we are nowhere near halfway finished with this race. These men are going to go from a 400 to an 800, and the most integral part of that handoff is for the 800-meter runner to not necessarily match the pace of the athlete coming in, finishing a 400. They have to know what an 800-meter pace feels like. And we have got big gaps from Tufts to MIT to that RIT back there in third. I think it is either them or Emory or RPI potentially. But there is a cluster coming in behind Johns Hopkins.
Johns Hopkins takes the lead into the 800-meter leg. That was Kaledi hanging off to Amonje, who's going to be our 800. MIT hanging on to that second place spot. Steins is your 800-meter representative from MIT. Wartburg moves up into third. That's Carter Cruz.
Both of these athletes have looked like they've done an incredible job receiving that handoff and then falling into 800-meter pace, if you will. What I would say is don't get too comfortable, because everybody else is coming for you. All they see is a target on your back.
Absolutely. You do not want to open the door. If you open the door, there's a lot of guys waiting to kick it the rest of the way down. MIT is back in this thing on the second lap of our 800-meter leg, now moving into the lead. Steins is our new leader. MIT carries the baton into the future.
and I'm trying to get a glimpse of who is waiting to receive this baton for the closing mile leg, and I do not see Zia Hassan over there. So Zia Hassan will not be a part of this distance medley, but MIT nonetheless still in first place with Hopkins close on their heels.
Top three has not changed so much, but maybe one thing I am seeing is Wartburg starting to connect to this top two. I think that gap is coming down a little bit. Really strong run here, and I'm looking back into fourth place, and Amherst is leading the pack here.
We've got Tor from Lynchburg trying to make up as much ground as he possibly can on this last 200. That large group closing very, very quickly on the top three out there in front. MIT, then Hopkins, then Wartburg. What do any of these athletes have left? It is madness ensuing behind them. But oh my goodness, MIT and Johns Hopkins both off to clean handoffs as they go into the closing leg of this race. Almost always does this come down to the mile. And that's exactly where we find ourselves right now.
That was a good move from Hotong Davidson from Lynchburg. Puts them, 6th, 7th place, but Chasen Hunt has the baton. He's been here before. He knows what to do. Eyes back to the front of the race. That's going to be Tim Newman from MIT who gets a baton over Johns Hopkins. They've got Lucas Rackers. So the milers are on the track, but Wartburg is pretty much connected here, so let's go ahead and shout out Aiden Decker. And Lynchburg has moved through that pack astonishingly fast into fourth, but with a lot of work to do. Will, are you going to keep pushing, or are you going to stall out? What does the top three do here?
I don't think that there is any other strategy for Hunt right now from Lynchburg other than gas, gas, gas. Don't blow yourself up in the first 4 laps of this. Just try and reel these guys back in 1 lap at a time. He is the best miler on the track right now. It might not seem like it because his team is sitting in fourth, but if there's anybody that can make this interesting, it's him.
I've got him about a 6, 7 second deficit. It's definitely possible. It's definitely a storyline to keep an eye on. But the engineers, MIT, is pushing so hard from the front so far at every leg. It's been MIT, it's been Johns Hopkins, and Wartburg is just trying to stay connected. But they are adrift as Hunt continues to hunt this
Hunt is
down.
5 seconds down from the leaders right now. He's starting to put some distance between him and anybody else that has a semblance of an opportunity in that chase back. Hunt really going to work now, trying to claw back Wartburg. I think by passing Wartburg, that will put some wind in his sails. Maybe think that there is a chance for him to put his team back atop the podium right now, but let's not lose sight of the race that's unfurling up front. MIT and Hopkins. MIT has led this every step of the way for the past couple exchanges. Hopkins just matching them stride for stride, thinking all that they need to do is outkick him. There is no more qualifying for the finals. This is it, baby. This is the final dance.
Newman is in kind of a tough position for MIT right now because he's really being relied upon to make the decision of what kind of pace this is, because Johns Hopkins is just going to sit. And so MIT just looking over the shoulder I don't think he's as concerned about second place right now as he is to opening the door to everybody else, as Lynchburg, Chasen Hunt, now moves into third. We're going to get a clock on the deficit here, but he is moving through the field.
Hunt is now 3.8 seconds back. This is going to be too close to call for these humble announcers, but they cannot wait to see what this show produces. MIT, Hopkins, Lynchburg running with so much more in their hearts and so much more on the line. Hopkins starts to feel as though maybe this is their time to smell the front, and Hopkins goes to the front for the first time.
Rackers moves into that pole position. Maybe not great news for Hunt. He doesn't want the battle to heat up front because they're just going to keep picking up the pace.
Hunt is 2 seconds behind. You can see how well he is covering distance. I cannot believe my eyes, ladies and gentlemen. 300 meters to run in this race. What does Hunt have left? Lynchburg.
Has Lynchburg left it too late? He's going to be connected. Lynchburg, Chasen Hunt is going to be connected with 1 lap to go. Johns Hopkins takes it into the final stretch of this race.
Hunt is no seconds behind.
Hunt is no seconds behind. Hunt is not waiting either as he moves in to second place. Is he going to go around Rackers right now?
He does not want this to be a 100-meter sprint. He wants it to be something longer. But Chasen Hunt has done an unbelievable job getting his team back in. What does he have? Where can he dig to? What can he look to with 50 meters to go?
Hunt's going to try to go around one more time, but Rackers doesn't want to let him. It's close to call, but Johns Hopkins is going to take the win over an inspirational performance by the runner-up from Lynchburg, Jason Hunt. Congratulations, John Hopkins. You are the DMR champions. What a race.
That was an unbelievable race. A storybook finish for Johns Hopkins, executing tactically perfect. How they just bide their time, waited until they knew they could go into the front, all the while knowing that Jason Hunt was on the track somewhere, lurking, until he comes up on your shoulder, seemingly out of absolute nowhere. My goodness gracious. You can see the Lynchburg athletes with some long faces, but my gosh, I hope that their hearts are filled with pride.
Yeah, they should be really happy with that, and Jason Hunt should be welcomed home as a hero for that leg. But Johns Hopkins on your screen celebrating their success. They're winning the DMR. What an incredible race from these four. They are once again Aiden Tomov, Alex Coletti, Fisayo Amonje, and Lucas Rackers. These guys executed a perfect race. Rackers was pretty content there to lurk in the mile leg and just maintain connection, but not get lulled to sleep. That was really impressive.
Jason Hunt closed in 4:04.
Yeah, so at least 3 seconds faster than anybody else in the field. Yeah, what a performance there. MIT holds on to a well-deserved third place there.
Very strong run for them.
Yeah.
Should not forget to mention them finishing in third place. That was a very strong run from their anchor, Tim Newman. Ran 409, but led that entire thing. What else can you do? What else can you ask for?
The only thing I can ask for right now is the women's DMR. But we should run through All-American positions.
Absolutely. Don't mind if I do. All right, your national champions running 9:52.43 was Johns Hopkins. Coming in second was Lynchburg. Third is MIT. Fourth, Amherst running 9:55.70. Narrowly edging out Wisconsin Lacrosse in fifth, 9:55.73. Bowdoin in sixth, RPI in seventh, and Emory rounding out your All-American teams in 9:57.26. Holy moly, what a race.
Fantastic race. Another final going down.